State lawmakers are passing the first sales tax proposal in an attempt to raise money to fill a $650 million budget gap.
And the Lake Charles City Council could approve an idea that hopes would speed up the I-210 construction project.
And we missed all of the tropical rains from Alberto, now moving through Alabama. That just means the heat continues to build for southwest Louisiana. Your forecast is straight ahead.
Sponsored by Lake Charles Memorial Health System. Covering the news for Southwest Louisiana. This is 7 News Sunrise.
Good morning and happy Tuesday, May 29th. Thanks for joining us this morning. I'm Kayla Cravel.
And I'm Olivia Vidal. Ben Terry is sitting by with the weather.
Yeah, looking good out there as far as the morning drive is concerned. I-210 traffic is flowing without any problems. Sun's bright, though. Make sure to grab those sunglasses. And temperatures are warm, 77 right at sunrise. So we're likely going to be up into the 80s here in the 7 o'clock hour, just based on some of the current trends we've seen with the lack of significant drop in those temperatures overnight. 88% relative humidity already this morning. It is very muggy. And as Olivia said earlier, not a good hair day for folks as you're out and about today to start the morning off. 75 in Sulphur and 77 in Cameron. For that afternoon drive, temperatures back up in the 90s. Fewer afternoon storms. That's the story for today. And those rain chances get even lower as we're talking triple digit feels like temperatures. I'll have much more ahead on your forecast in just a few minutes.
A bill to retain a portion of an expiring temporary sales tax is now heading to the state Senate.
The bill would generate about $360 million for Louisiana as lawmakers work to fill a $650 million budget deficit. Now the Senate will vote on it, but Representative Cameron Henry says even if Governor John Bel Edwards signs it into law, the process won't be over. Henry says the Revenue Estimating Committee will then need to determine the exact dollar amount needed to create a budget plan. This special session ends Monday, and the budget deficit takes effect on July 1st. A Lake Charles restaurant is apologizing after at least one employee was less than compassionate to a homeless person. An employee at Buffalo Wild Wings wrote a derogatory and profane comment on the order turned into the cook staff. It also said, "Let's sit and get gross," referring to the man's food. It might have gone unnoticed, but the order sheet was mistakenly given to the man with his food. A customer stood up for the man and went to the manager. Buffalo Wild Wings said that the employees involved have been fired. The regional manager says they're giving the man free wings for a year along with a gift card. The restaurant is also making a donation to a local homeless shelter.
We're expecting to learn more today about a man charged with first-degree rape. The Lake Charles Police Department and the Calcasieu Parish Sheriff's Office will hold a news conference about the arrest of 31-year-old Richard Wayne Barris. The news conference starts this morning at 10 o'clock, and we will be streaming it live on the 7 News mobile app and at kplctv.com. Members of the Lake Charles City Council will hold a special meeting this evening to consider creating an incentive for the early completion of the I-210 construction project. The council will discuss a resolution that would allow it to negotiate the terms of an agreement with DOTD, the Calcasieu Parish Police Jury, and other business agencies to contribute funds to this incentive package. That meeting starts at 5:30 this evening in the City Council chambers located on Pujo Street here in Lake Charles.
The Lake Charles branch of the NAACP will be holding a news conference this afternoon to talk about the status of Calcasieu Parish schools. That news conference will start at 1 this afternoon in the EPPS library on North Simmons Street. We'll be streaming the news conference on the 7 News mobile app and at kplctv.com. You can learn more about job opportunities with the Calcasieu Parish School Board today. The school board is hosting its annual job fair this morning from 9 until 11:30 in the Lake Charles Civic Center Exhibition Hall. The school board will be looking to recruit for all positions, including teachers, bus drivers, and speech-language pathologists.
Jennings Assist Agency will offer a free summer recreation and food service program starting today. The agency will pick up children in grades kindergarten through 12th at locations around Jennings starting at 7 o'clock each morning. The recreation program will last between 8 o'clock and 11:30 in the morning. Breakfast starts at 7 and lunch will last until 12:30. The program continues through July 6th and will be held at Jennings Elementary School on Florence Street. A group honoring first responders who died in the line of duty will be stopping in Westlake today. The Texas Brotherhood is biking from New Orleans to San Antonio in remembrance of the 11 first responders in Texas and Louisiana that died in 2017. Today, the group will be stopping at the Westlake Fire Department on Guillory Street. The Texas Brotherhood is expecting to make it to San Antonio this Sunday.
Next, we're hanging out at the Sulphur Water Park to see some of the options for staying cool while enjoying the summer.
And coming up, the European Union is looking at a ban that it hopes would eliminate plastic waste in the ocean. But congratulations to Michelle Carlin. She's our KPLC Facebook Fan of the Day. Michelle is from Sulphur and says she watches sunrise every morning. Hey, thanks for watching.
She wins 2 free lunch or dinner buffets from Gaddy's Pizza. And if you want to be our next Fan of the Day, you can find an entry form on the KPLC Facebook page. It's 6:36. You're watching 7 News Sunrise on KPLC.
Brant, it is 6:21, and we're just learning that Sulphur police are investigating after a pedestrian is struck and killed by a train early this morning.
Mel Estes from Sulphur PD says it happened on the railroad tracks between Beglis Parkway and Lewis Street, and we're expecting to learn more about that incident later today.
Estes tells us it happened around 3 o'clock this morning, so we'll try to keep you up to date on the latest on that. Again, a pedestrian killed in Sulphur on the railroad tracks between Beglis and Lewis.
Breaking news, President Donald Trump has just left Lake Charles after his visit to Southwest Louisiana. We have team coverage from reporters across the area. This trip to Southwest Louisiana follows an earlier trip to Houston. We'll see images of his meetings with Harvey survivors in Texas. Complete team coverage of the president's visit as 7 News at 6 starts now.
Sponsored by Nissan of Lake Charles. At your service with news for Southwest Louisiana. This is 7 News at 6.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Randall Cam in for Christian Picos, who will join us shortly. In the meantime, President Trump has just departed Lake Charles after spending about a half an hour in Southwest Louisiana. We've been bringing you live coverage for the past several hours of the president meeting and greeting state and local officials, the Louisiana National Guard, and volunteers who rescued and cared for those flooded by Hurricane Harvey. Let's go right now live to Miranda Weddington. She's outside Chenault International Airport, where the president just departed moments ago. Miranda. Now, before he left, President Trump visited the Louisiana National Guard Armory. He visited the heroes of Harvey, along with those who survived the storm and were evacuated to Southwest Louisiana. Let's get right to KPLC's Christian Picos live outside the Armory. And Christian, you were surrounded by a lot of excited folks out there. KPLC reporter Caitlin Rust was one of a handful of reporters and photographers allowed to move around with the president's inner circle during his visit to Lake Charles. Let's get right to Caitlin now. Caitlin, tell us what that experience was like.